wanna take you for a ride. I wanna take you for a ride.
What's up fam, my name is Tech and welcome to my Mage Ronin guide. This build is pretty unconventional and it's mostly intended for gold, however I was able to clear a nightmare story with it. It's all about spamming your ghost weapons, which if you learn to rotate them well, should have nearly no cooldown. Your techniques are not the focus of this build, so we'll go over them quickly. Your ultimate is Breath of IZANAMI, which revives downed teammates. In this build, you should have it up at all times since you won't be using your resolve much. Your ability is up to preference, but I like to run healing incense as it will be your only form of sustain in this build. As you might have guessed, this ghost weapon build will be taking enhanced ghost weapons for extra damage. Your second perk should either be increased stagger damage or increased healing. And for your third perk, take legendary. Let's get into the gear. For your katana, try a water katana with the Way of the Flame perk. For your ranged weapon, take a bomb pack. Try to get status effect damage or duration, plus black powder bombs. You don't need a specific charm, but try to roll for damage increase stats or fire damage, as well as take the Fire Master perk if possible. Your ghost weapons are where this build gets spicy. Take Spirit Kunai with damage increase and supermassive. The benefit of Spirit Kunai is that every time you get a kill, you reduce all your cooldowns by 15 seconds. This cooldown reduction is for each kunai you throw. The kunai's cooldown is normally 30 seconds, meaning if you get 2 kills, you can reset the Spirit Kunai immediately. Between damage increase, supermassive, and your enhanced ghost weapons perk, your kunai will be doing so much damage they can often one-shot weaker enemies from full health. For your second ghost weapon, take Demon Seeds. The legendary perk to these caltrops is that they apply weaken to any enemies that step on them. Make sure you roll for damage increase, status duration, and fired up. The combination of weaken and fire will shred enemies who hit the caltrops, and if they don't die from that alone, you can certainly kill them with Spirit Kunai. This will reset Spirit Kunai and drop the cooldown of Demon Seeds by a third. In addition to the damage they take, most enemies who step on the caltrops will be stamina broken from 100%, so if you need to soften them up a bit more, they will be vulnerable. With this build, you want to be meeting your enemies in choke points whenever possible. Start combat by dropping your Demon Seeds, then stand behind them so enemies will walk through them. Once they get to below 70% life, throw your kunai. They should kill 2 enemies and reset themselves. If you are hitting the correct targets, you will be able to throw kunai back to back 2 or even 3 times, which should significantly decrease the cooldown of your caltrops. While holding these chokes, caltrops plus kunai are enough to kill most non-brute or non-oni enemies. If you are unsure if your kunai are enough to kill, throw a few bombs in the crowd before using them. The bombs will soften them up for more kunai resets. Once you start getting to the oni enemies, it's time to start weaving Way of the Flame into your rotation. You'll want to pop your caltrops, then activate the fire, and deal as much damage as you can. Then continue to pick off enemies with your kunai. Spirit Kunai will also reduce the cooldown of Way of the Flame, which will let you have it up as much as possible. If you're ever in a situation where you're going to a point that already has enemies there, consider your strengths. You are not so good at clearing groups, but you are good at stalling. You can have a sort of hit and run or trap playstyle. Go into the group, drop your caltrops and your flame, and take out the most vulnerable enemies first. Remember that kunai also reduces healing incense's cooldown, so don't be afraid to use it liberally. Sometimes dropping caltrops and healing incense in one spot and then just parrying enemies can be strong as well. With this build, you can't heal or deal damage with your ultimate. You also don't have any other ways to expend resolve. This is both a blessing and a curse as your ult will not be as powerful, but you'll literally have it up whenever you need it. If you like this guide, let me know in the comments what class you want to see next. And if you want a more standard Ronin build, check out my first Ronin guide on screen. Later fam.